Do you want a large ass Microtech OTF? Do you want to know if the new Gen 3 Microtechs are worth the upgrade? Do you want to talk about both those things? Do you want to just see some sick OTFs? Stay tuned, we're going to talk about it. Hey YouTube, POV Knives coming at you with yet another Microtech video. I know, I'm quickly approaching the point where I need to change the name of the channel to POV Microtech, but again, they're killing it. They're just killing it. Prices are not coming up, quality's going up, the knives are sick, the designs are awesome. I gotta talk about it. I'd be doing you a disservice to not bring you this much Microtech. Believe what you will. So, what prompted this video was this guy. This is one of the Gen 3 Scarab IIs, and the Scarab II is not a model that I really had a lot of interest in until now. I kind of knew there was something special going on there because people go crazy for these Scarab IIs even before the Gen 3 model came out. And now I see why. Let me tell you, I beat the shit out of this thing. I just did, man. Like, it's a ginormous OTF. The blade, probably a little too large versus what I usually like, but it just kicks ass. And it fires like a beast. It is an incredible knife. It fills the hand, the grip is sick. You really feel like when you take it out, it's like a lightsaber. You just, right? It just busts out and it's impressive. The way they did this milling area, kind of with the coarser milling, I'm totally, I don't have the words. I don't have the words to describe this thing properly. But it's like your fingers just have a place to nestle in there. The grip is awesome. I even like, you know, the over-the-top Microtech glass breaker, which is not typically something I'm a fan of. I love the clip. I like the minimal branding, just the Scarab. I like how, you know, there's less billboarding here. Thank you, Microtech. And the stonewash just fits. I actually don't, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of apocalyptic finish Microtechs. I like the stonewash on this one. I think it looks sick. You got this grip tape in there. The grip tape here is very similar to what you find on the Microtech SOCOM Elite. In fact, it's the same material and it works great here. They changed between the Gen 1s and the Gen 3s. I think they skipped a generation for whatever reason. They changed some of the patterning here and it just works. I like how they incorporated this nice low traction area for the clip to sit on. It's always a problem when it's ripping up stuff because they just put something grippy underneath it when it's something so easy to fix. What kind of, other than the design, what kind of makes the Scarab II kind of unique in the Microtech line is it's designed to fire underwater. Do Scarabs go underwater? I thought that was like an Egyptian thing. Maybe I'm just thinking of the Mummy. I don't know. But that's really where the niche is, if you will. So if you see these scallops right here, that's to provide space for the blade to fire out and let the water displace into the knife. There's also these holes at the bottom, likewise, so the water can move in and out and the blade can fire underwater. Do I need that? Am I swimming with my OTF? Am I like taking out a shark, man, and gotta have my deadly blade with me? Am I a Navy SEAL? No. Do I think that's incredible? Yes. Do I value it and appreciate it? Oh, hell yeah, I do. And then talking about kind of generation to generation, the most recent Microtech action is probably best evidenced in my collection by this Combat Troodon, again in the bounty hunter motif, which I think is sick, with the Hellhound blade. I like this knife. Was it good? Yeah. Did I love it? Yeah. Did I think it could get better? No. But it did, man. Like, and I can't put this on camera, but if you just, man, it's just like this guy just, I'll do the same amount of force. Look at the difference. Like, that's the same amount of force. This isn't moving. This one is. And if you're new to the OTF world, you'll know people get their OTFs. If you talk to a knife dealer, people buy their first Microtech and they're like, and maybe they get it out once or twice and then the thumb fatigues. You got to build that muscle. You got to pump it up in order to be able to fire these beasts. This, no. it's smooth, man. And it's just like, you're like, where did that force come from to fire that blade? It's incredible. They really did a great job on the Gen 3 mechanism. And I assume, obviously I don't have one of the new Combat Troodons, or the Cypher, I think is the other model that got the Gen 3 treatment. But I'm gonna assume they're just as good, man. I really like this knife. I really like all these OTFs that Microtech makes. I think they're great. But it makes me wish this was a Gen 3. I'm gonna be honest. Now I would be remiss to not cover what I guess is the one downside. If you guys can lean into my chest here, lean into my mic. I'm gonna make this as awkward as possible. Just lean in. Do you hear anything? Do you hear? No? Do you hear anything now? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I think what they needed was they needed some space underneath for this new crud cutter feature. Again, you can see this knife is dirty. Like, I used the crap out of it and it didn't fail me once. There's crud in the crud cutter right now. They needed a spring and some space so the crud cutter could do its job. Which one would I rather have? I'd rather have this one, because this is just too much fun. So the Gen 3s get 2 big thumbs up from me. I love the Gen 3s. Why is the Glycon on the table? Because I thought, hey, we're gonna talk about the Gen 3s, we're gonna talk about the Scarab II. We better get all the freaking big Microtechs out there and talk about them. So, unless you're a complete sociopath like me and you wanna, not feed your kids so you can buy knives, you're not gonna buy all 3 of these, right? You're gonna probably pick one. And if you're looking for a big Microtech, these are really your options. The Glycon is a very special design. If you just love the look, you need to go Glycon. The action is probably, when this came out, people were like, wow, that's a sick action. And it's really, in terms of quality of action, it's in between the older Microtechs and the Gen 3s. It's not as good as the Gen 3, but it's close. And you get this paneling, which they're doing a lot of cool anno work now. This is apocalyptic. I love apocalyptic Microtechs. And it always kind of goes up against this, this black anode aluminum, which is nice. There's this really cool combined button, slider. What do you call this? I don't know. But what's nice is you can push it from the front, you can push it from the back. You can do kind of almost like you're doing an axis lock. You know how you reach around and grab an axis lock to shut it? You can kind of do one of those with this, which is nice. I don't know why you would want to do that or need to do that, but hey, it's cool, it's different, I like it. It's one piece, which is awesome. What's nice about the bayonet blade, especially in the Glycon, is it's a double-sided blade, but you're getting a thumb ramp there so that you don't cut your thumb in half. Let me know in the comments, has anyone else had a bayonet blade OTF and just you're cutting a box and you don't even realize, but your thumb's cut in half and you're getting sutures. That has happened to me more than once, so I do appreciate that thumb ramp. I opted for the blade serrations here because it looks sick. You got the blood groove, you got the holes right there, and that just really adds to the badassery that is this knife. I think it's awesome. You can get it without though, if that's not your jam. So if you like the look, the Glycon's for you. If you're after action, you got to go Gen 3, man, and you can get the Combat Troodon in Gen 3. You can get the Scarab. Combat Troodon versus Scarab. Ooh, I don't know. That's a hard one. I will say the design in terms of this, there's a swell right here that's just really cool. That really just nestles in the palm of your hand. I think from a design standpoint, and in terms of the variety you can get, I think the Combat Troodon and all its variations is probably a little bit technically superior. And like I mean, that makes sense. Obviously, I went for this and didn't really understand what the fuss was about with the Scarab. But the Scarab's awesome, man. And I can't really say particularly why. It just kicks ass. So, I mean, the Scarab, it's really close. It might be my favorite Microtech OTF at the moment. I'm gonna say it. I can't point to one particular reason or rationalize it in any way for you, but sometimes a knife is just greater than the sum of its parts, and I think that's what you're getting here with the Scarab II. So those are the big ass Microtech OTFs. You guys let me know what you think. I guess what we can do is throw one knife in there for size comparison, just so you can kind of know what you're dealing with. Regular size bug out. I mean, these are big. They're freaking big. Look at that. They are dwarfing a full-size bug out. I mean, when you fire one of these OTFs, people around you are gonna know it. Don't bring that out on the subway in New York City. They're big, and I really wanna know what's your favorite, which one are you gonna buy, which ones have you bought, does anyone own all three? It's just, you know, I'll let my wife know there's other people as crazy as me. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.